Thanks for watching. If you're on our blog, don't forget to click the top bar where there's a link so you can download the ebook of the month. And if you're watching us on YouTube, click the description. There's a link there as well. Enjoy! Hi everybody, and welcome to the Big Idea of the Week. I'm June Brockmeyer, joined again by the wonderful Rebecca Sprynczynatyk, Director of Communications at Infusionsoft. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
And we're very excited because we started this conversation about market research and why it's so important to have and how you can benefit from it on your schedule with your job. And now we're going to talk about a little bit more of the steps. So I wanted to start, we talked about asking the right questions. Now we want to say, really, how do we ask those questions? How do we pay attention to the question, make sure we word it correctly? So let's take it from there.
That is so critical. I have seen so many research and surveys that have misleading data because the original question was worded in a way that leads the participant to answer in the way that we want them to answer.
Oh, no.
So if you've a great example of this would be on a scale of 1 to 5, how great was the movie?
Oh, I can see that being a little biased. You know,
Right.
well, what if it wasn't great? My only options are to answer positively.
Exactly. Great or really great.
Right.
So that's one way. So the response to that is to ask questions in a very neutral way.
Okay.
So you could say, on a scale of 1 to 5, how would you rate the movie?
Okay, that gives you a little bit more leeway.
Exactly.
Interesting.
Other things that are really common are when people combine two questions into one. So they might say something like, how would you rate the speed and quality of our delivery?
Ooh, okay, so I'd be a little confused responding that because I'd be like, do you want to know about the speed or the quality? They may be the same, but they may not.
Exactly.
At that point, you're confusing them. And then they might just skip the question altogether. That's not good for anyone.
Exactly. So a simple solution for that is to just ask two separate questions.
Okay.
How would you rate the quality? How would you rate the speed?
Great. And the quicker the questions, the more easy you're going to be able to answer them as a respondent. So that's
Exactly.
going to be helpful. What about when you have something personal in the questions? I've seen that with some products, and it's like, why am I going to tell you? I don't want to tell you that.
Right.
That.
Yes. People become very uncomfortable with overly personal questions. Even if the survey is still anonymous, really ask yourself, do I need to know the gender, the age, the education level of my respondents, and can I act on that data? If it's not relevant, leave it out.
Absolutely. Now, we always talk, especially on your side of the building, about testing and testing and testing, right? Now, this is very important when you're doing a product test, when you're sending out, questionnaires and surveys. But why do we have to focus on it right now, again, talking about testing with the questions?
Oh, it's critical because once you've launched your survey, you can't change it. In order to analyze your data properly, it all has to be consistent.
Yeah.
And so if you launch a survey and then go back and change the way a question is worded, it would entirely change the way the analysis is conducted. So you can't change it once it's out there. So it needs to be right when you launch. So my recommendation for testing is to send it out to everyone that you know, your family, your friends, your neighbors, your colleagues, whoever, anyone you can trust who will take a look at it for spelling and grammar.
Oh, good.
As well as confusing questions.
Okay.
So they could say, I don't understand what you're asking here.
Having an extra set of eyes look at those questions for you that you can trust, because there might be something when you're writing a lot and you're kind of looking at the same thing over and over, you may not be able to see what other people see, and it might just be a quick and easy fix that you can do before you have it, and then you can't change any of it.
Exactly.
Now, when it comes to that kind of friction with people, with the questions, as far as proofreading it, that's easy. What else can we do to test it?
One of the most critical things you should do is test how long it's going to take someone to complete the survey.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so this helps you in two ways. One, when you're inviting someone to participate, you can give them an accurate expectation. This will take you 3 to 5 minutes. This will take 10 to 15. That has two impacts. One, the person's going to decide, yeah, I can commit 3 to 5 minutes.
Right.
If it's longer, they're less likely to drop out halfway through.
Oh.
So if their expectation is 3 minutes and they're 7 minutes into the survey with no end in sight, you're going to have a massive drop-off rate. So, so test for time. That will help you increase the number of people who fully complete it. Yes, very important.
Great. More results, more data.
Yes. So the length of time is something called friction, and it's one of the key things that impacts the number of people that take your survey. Other things that cause friction are those overly personal questions, open-ended questions because they're so
yes.
difficult to answer. So anything that slows people down or prevents them is friction.
And is there a way that you can maybe incentivize those types of questions? So what if I do want to use open-ended questions, just not too many of them?
Sure. So on the opposite end of friction, you have incentives
Yay!
to motivate people to take your survey. We find that simple incentives are best. So we've done a $10 Amazon gift card for the first 500 people that participate, or the first 50 people. That's very motivating because it compensates them for their time.
Right.
And used in conjunction with a raffle. So we find that to be very effective. The first 50 get a guaranteed gift card. Everyone gets entered for a chance to win the big lottery, the $500 gift card.
Awesome.
So that works very well.
That's great. Incentives, it could be something simple, quick, easy, that may not cost you a lot of money, but that's going to help people take that opportunity to answer those questions, especially if you are giving them that estimated time. You know, if you have 20 minutes and I can get a $500 gift card, I'm going to do it. That's what they do sometimes at the grocery stores, you know, Target, Best Buy, those types of places. They're like, take our survey, you know, you could win whatever. Easy right there. Didn't even think of it. Great advice. Now, I want to talk about what we're going to say next time when we meet. You don't want to miss this. We're going to talk about avoiding analysis paralysis, which basically translates to not getting all that data mixed up and being able to really work with what you have to make an impact on your company. Anything you want to tease about that, Rebecca?
Ooh, I see analysis paralysis a lot.
Yes.
And so I've got some great tips for how you can analyze the data and present it to influencers and decision makers to make better decisions.
Make an impact. Great. So you don't want to miss that. Tune in. Again, bigideasblog.infusionsoft.com for any of the information. Also on Twitter @bigideasblog and
@Rebecca Spry.
we have it right here for you. And remember, this month we're going to have an ebook available and a webinar coming up. So stay tuned with our information. We'll tell you how to get all that. All right. We'll see them next week. Bye.